Welcome to srseekers.com. In this series, we are talking about terms and phrases that have become very popular thanks to agile transformations that most companies are going through right now. My objective is to give you a short introduction to what these terms are so that you are able to not only understand but also use them in course of your work. Today, we're going to discuss the definition of done. Definition of done. So this is something from the Scrum Guide. Scrum artifacts represent work or value. Product backlog, sprint backlog, and definition of done are artifacts, Scrum artifacts. Each artifact has a commitment to ensure transparency as well as it kind of provides a yardstick to measure progress. Quoting from the Scrum Guide. The definition of done is a formal description of the state of the increment when it meets the quality measures required for the product. The moment a product backlog item meets the definition of done, an increment is born. So I really don't have words to paraphrase that because it's like evident and very beautifully concisely explained there. But there's some other things that we can talk about. That is, the definition of done is now, at least the Scrum Guide 2020 says that it should be defined by the Scrum team. Previously, it was the development team, which term we no longer use. So if you have to remember, just remember that the Scrum teams comes up with the definition of done. And if there is an organization standard, then all Scrum teams will follow that. If it doesn't exist, then the Scrum teams need to come up with the definition of done. Also remember, it is one of the commitments that is reviewed in a part of the sprint retrospective, where, we decide whether, based on the team's experience in the last sprint, do they need to revise it, update it. So this discussion definitely happens at every sprint retrospective. Scrum Guide mentions the following about definition of done. It creates transparency. So it gives us a yardstick or a scale to measure whether an increment is actually meeting the quality. So it is also true that if the backlog item that we have created, or the software that we have developed, if that piece of working software does not meet the definition of done, then it cannot be included as a part of the sprint review. So it goes back. So that's another thing that is a convention. Then if there is some organizations who have definition of done as a organizational standard, then all Scrum teams must meet that at the minimum. It's very important that at least at the bare minimum, all Scrum teams are following the organizational standard. So we might have versions where different teams have additional criteria, but the base is the organizational standard. The developers are required to conform to the definition of done, so it cannot be that we are flexible. Another interesting point is that multiple Scrum teams are working on the same product backlog. They must agree among themselves to come up with a definition of done that kind of works for all of them. A few examples that might form a part of definition of done are as follows. All user story acceptance criteria are met. Peer code review completed. Testing, unit and functional passed. Performance and penetration testing passed, obviously if it's applicable. Regression testing completed. Like there are some features which might be client specific and might not have regression testing, but if it does apply, it has to be completed to meet the definition of done. User experience or design validated. So we might have UIs that we have developed as mock-ups. We have to see whether they are meeting that criteria. Zero defects, easy to say, but yeah, zero noted defects. And user guides and jobs, like this is a bigger part of the job as a business analyst or a product owner. Other, you're pushing out a feature, is your manuals updated, as the user guides updated. So before every release, I think this is an important part. So these are just examples. The more matured your team is, the better it gets at having a definition of done. And I think with time, with experience, we realize and add and customize as we go. That's it from my end on definition done. I'm sure there are many more experiences and thoughts that you would love to share with the group. So if you are willing, please leave a comment. Let us know what we should have included, and even better, share your experience. Thank you for watching. If you did like our content, then please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you get notified next time we have new content for you.